Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a woman who is a visitor to a movie hall and a man who is conducting a survey of the visitors visiting the movie hall. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7. You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. The conversation relating to this will be played first.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I have a few minutes of your time?
Yes, what do you want?
First, welcome to Regal Movie Hall, the biggest cinema hall. We're conducting a survey of the visitors at the movie hall. We want to learn about when and how often people visit this movie hall. Would you mind answering a few questions about watching movies and visiting this hall?
Not at all.
The man is a surveyor, which is marked as an answer to the question for the example. Now listen carefully and answer question 1 to 7. You will not listen to the conversation a second time.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I have a few minutes of your time?
Yes, what do you want?
First, welcome to Regal Movie Hall, the biggest cinema hall. We're conducting a survey of the visitors at the movie hall. We want to learn about when and how often people visit this movie hall. Would you mind answering a few questions about watching movies and visiting this hall?
Not at all.
Thank you. Today we're interviewing married women who visit the hall with their husband and children. So the first question is, do you fit in this category?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, may I know your age?
I'm 35.
Great. Now, how often do you visit this place? Is it once a month, less than once a month, or rarely?
I and my husband both are very busy. We don't have much time to entertain ourselves. So I visit this place during my kids' holidays.
Well, that's fine. You must be very familiar with the stories here.
Certainly, I am.
All right then. The next question concerns the things that you buy. What do you usually shop from the eating store?
Well, my children are crazy for pizza, and my husband and I shop popcorn and cold drinks respectively. Frankly speaking, their prices are a bit high.
Now I need to know what type of movie do you and your family like to watch here and most often? Would it be animated?
Oh no, that's only occasionally. The reason I come here is to refresh and change the monotonous routine.
Okay, that is great. So, the next question is, for which show do you usually visit this place?
What do you mean?
I mean morning, afternoon, evening show, or late night?
Oh, it depends on the movie and tickets. With kids, we mostly prefer the daytime show.
Now, there's one last question in this section. How do you usually come to the hall?
I always drive.
Now look at questions 8 to 10. Now listen to the second half of the recording and answer questions 8 to 10.
Fine. Okay, the next part of the questionnaire concerns your opinion. In general, which part of the movie hall have you had the best experience?
That's easy. I like the hall arrangement and services also.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? They have big comfortable seats to enjoy the movie for 2 to 3 hours.
They do, but I consider it good because the employees are very polite. They provide exceptional services.
Now, what about the washrooms?
They're really very clean and hygienic, even easy to use for elderly visitors.
That's really nice. I've just one last question. Do you have any suggestions for improvement of the movie hall?
Yes, parking space should be increased. I never find a place to park. It's really annoying sometimes.
That's all. Thanks for sparing your precious time.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have some time to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You are going to hear about a city plan shared by a councillor with the citizens. First look at questions 11 to 13. Now listen to the recording and answer questions 11 to 13.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Councillor Rosie Michael, and welcome to the yearly meeting about the development of the city. The meeting is specially related to the site in the city centre, which has been lying unused for more than a decade. There has been pressure on the council to use the land to build a shopping mall. However, we have been encouraged by people to use the land for the welfare of people. As it is a central place of the city, so it should be used for the benefit of the community. And now I have the pleasure to announce that the project which has got approval is a sports centre, a park and a small library. I'm also pleased to announce that many local organizations have come forward to sponsor the projects which will help the government to complete it in a shorter span of time. A more detailed plan is available on the Council's official website. In the meantime, I'd like to show you the plan on the screen.
Now look at questions 14 to 20. As the talk continue, answer questions 14 to 20.
Starting from here, we can have a look at the Arena Street, where the main entrance to the sports centre is there. On the left side of the entrance, in the bottom left, the block is for a big hall for indoor games, open area for 2 football pitches and 2 for cricket, 4 tennis and volleyball courts. On the other side of the entrance, there will be another hall with the capacity to accommodate 500 people at a time. This will be an auditorium to conduct workshops and local functions. There will be another entrance on the top right which leads into English Street. Here in the center of the area, we will have a big light fountain which will be connected with part north, south, east and west to the different areas of the sports center. In the right top corner, just by the English Street entrance, there will be a small library. Of course, an educational area where elders can enjoy reading and mothers can enhance reading skills of their children. By the side of the library, a huge parking space is also planned. Now in the top left corner, a park is planned which comprises of a walled, however garden with walkways, seats and lots of shady areas for summer. Next to this, there will be a cactus and a botanical garden. In the same corner, there will be swings and play area for children. More trees would be planted here to maintain the greenery and attractiveness of the place. And finally, in the bottom right-hand corner, near to the auditorium, will be a cafe, opening onto English Street. And now, if anyone would like to ask any questions, I and some other government officials would be happy to oblige.
That is the end of section 2. You will now have some time to check your answers. Now turn to section 3. Section 3. In this section, you will hear a conversation between a tutor who is taking feedback of the presentation of his students, Belly and Mark. You have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen to the first part and answer questions 21 to 30.
Belly and Mark, I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed your joint presentation on stress management given to the corporate employees on the 9th of March. Though it was part of your evaluation to get marks, but your presentation was absolutely professional. It's clear that you both have devoted quite a lot of time and effort. Your presentation showed your dedication towards the task, and the coordination between you was amazing. Have you filled the placement?
Yes, we have.
So, Belly, what do you think overall?
Well, in general, I feel the presentation went well. We worked up to the mark. In fact, everyone present there was attentive throughout. Many of them were writing notes also.
That's right. And what about the delivery part, Mark?
I personally feel Belly's part was marvelous. But for my part, as it was my first chance to stand on stage in front of such a huge crowd, I had fear in my mind. Belly supported me well.
Yes, it's true, but I'm sure no one could guess it.
That's fine. And it was only a part of evaluation. What about the question-answer session after the presentation?
Oh, that was fine, as I think people were very cooperative. All the questions were related to the presentation and we answered confidently.
Okay. What do you think were the best areas and which do you think can be improved upon?
Although there is always a need of improvement, I felt very good about the leaflets and booklets which we had prepared. We had really spent quality time on preparing them. They gave a very professional look to the presentation.
To me also, the leaflets and booklets were the best part, as the content and information was systematic and we mentioned the source of content with their websites and a very extensive bibliography.
That's nice. So the booklets showed that you both worked well to collect the information and complete it. And what about the improvement?
I think some of the slides were too lengthy. I found slides 2nd and 3rd to be out of sequence.
Yes, and I was a little nervous while operating the system. I felt myself under pressure.
Yes, I think more practice will make it easy. I also got some feedback separately from the company and senior faculties present during your presentation. I'm also curious for it. Let me open the feedback form.
Kindly share the comments with us.
Yes, sure. The content part was up to mark, except 1 or 2 lengthy slides which you also know well.
Yes, absolutely correct.
For delivery, it's written average. So, I think 50% people liked, others didn't like it.
That's not fair.
For knowledge and handling questions, it's marked very well. So that shows you were fully prepared.
And what about overall performance?
It's excellent.
Thank God. Will this evaluation affect our marks in semester?
Definitely yes.
So, what do you suggest next?
Practice makes a man perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of section 3. You will now have some time to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear an extract from a talk given by a lecturer from Management Department of a university on the topic Job Satisfaction. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 36. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 36. Job satisfaction is how happy an individual is with his or her job. Scholars and human resource professionals generally make a distinction between affective job satisfaction and cognitive job satisfaction. Affective job satisfaction is the overall extent of pleasurable emotional feelings individuals have about their jobs and is different from cognitive job satisfaction, which is the extent of individual satisfaction with particular facets of their jobs such as pay, pension, arrangements, working hours, and numerous other aspects of their jobs. At its most general level of conceptualization, job satisfaction is simply how content an individual is with his or her job. Affective job satisfaction is usually defined as a one-dimensional, subjective construct representing an overall emotional feeling individuals have about their job as a whole. Hence, affective job satisfaction for individuals reflects the degree of pleasure or happiness their job in general induces. Cognitive job satisfaction is usually defined as being a more objective and logical evaluation of various facets of a job. As such, cognitive job satisfaction can be one-dimensional if it comprises evaluation of just one aspect of a job, such as pay or maternity leave, or multidimensional if two or more facets of a job are simultaneously evaluated. Environmental factors. One of the most significant aspects of an individual's work in a modern organization concerns the management of communication demands that he or she encounters on the job. Demands can be characterized as a communication load. Individuals in an organization can experience communication overload and communication underload, which can affect their level of job satisfaction. Communication overload can occur when an individual receives loads of message in a short period of time, which can result in unprocessed information, or when an individual faces more complex messages that are more difficult to process. Due to this process, given an individual's style of work and motivation to complete a task, when more inputs exist than outputs, the individual perceives a condition of overload which can be positively or negatively related to job satisfaction. In comparison, communication underload can occur when messages or inputs are sent below the individual's ability to process them. According to the ideas of communication overload and underload, if an individual does not receive enough input on the job or is unsuccessful in processing these inputs, the individual is more likely to become dissatisfied, aggravated, and unhappy with their work that leads to a low level of job satisfaction. Now look at questions 37 to 40. Now listen to the second half of the recording and answer questions 37 to 40. Superior subordinate communication. Superior subordinate communication is an important influence on job satisfaction in the workplace. The way in which subordinates perceive a superior's behavior can positively or negatively influence job satisfaction. Communication behavior, such as facial expression, eye contact, vocal expression, and body movement, is crucial to the superior-subordinate relationship. Nonverbal messages play a central role in interpersonal interactions with respect to impression formation, deception, attraction, social influence, and emotional bonding. Individuals who dislike and think negatively about their supervisor are less willing to communicate or have motivation to work, whereas individuals who like and think positively of their supervisor are more likely to communicate and are satisfied with their job and work environment. A supervisor who uses nonverbal immediacy, friendliness, and open communication lines is more likely to receive positive feedback and high job satisfaction from a subordinate. Strategic employee recognition. Employee recognition is not only about gifts and points. It's about changing the corporate culture in order to meet goals and initiatives, and most importantly, to connect employees to the company's core values and beliefs. Strategic employee recognition is seen as the most important program, not only to improve employee retention and motivation, but also to positively influence the financial situation. The vast majority of companies want to be innovative, coming up with new products, business models, and better ways of doing things. However, innovation is not so easy to achieve. A CEO cannot just order it and so it will be achieved. You have to carefully manage an organization so that, over time, innovations will emerge. Individual factors. Mood and emotions form the effective element of job satisfaction. Moods tend to be long-lasting, but often weaker states of uncertain origins, while emotions are often more intense, short-lived, and have a clear object or cause. Positive and negative emotions were also found to be significantly related to overall job satisfaction. It was found that suppression of unpleasant emotions decreases job satisfaction, and the amplification of pleasant emotions increases job satisfaction. There are two personality factors related to job satisfaction: alienation and locus of control. Employees who have an internal locus of control and feel less alienated are more likely to experience job satisfaction, job involvement, and organizational commitment. The characteristics like high self-esteem, self-efficacy, and low neuroticism are also related to job satisfaction. That is the end of section 4. Now you have some time to check your answers. That is the end of practice listening test 5.